Hello, once again, welcome back to Tuntum Network. I'm Cyrus. Today is a good day. First of all, I want to thank all my subscribers and those who frequently watch the video till the end for the massive support you have given me throughout when I started this podcast. Today, I received a message from YouTube saying I've reached 25,000 views in totality. I couldn't have done that without you. Thank you so much. God bless you. For those who watch and do not subscribe, please, I encourage you to hit that subscription button. Please hit it. New subscribers, you are welcome. Those who are welcome already, please leave a message when you see or when you find anything that is so interesting on this podcast. Now, let's get to the real meat of my story today. Today, I want to talk about the presidents that we do not need in this country. I pray this video finds its way into the hands of the former presidents, the current one, those who want to become presidents, politicians, and the media houses, because a lot of youth agree with me on this. The leadership that we do not want in this country, and I'm looking at the traits of the leadership, not necessarily the person. So I'm going to look at the kinds of presidents we don't want as Ghanaians. You know, every country has one status quo. You cannot become a president without a political party. That we understand. But what I'm sharing here with you guys is what happens after you become a leader or a president of a country. The traits in the kinds of president that we do not want. The first person on my list is our current president, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. We do not want this trait in a president in Ghana again. Ghanaians should never vote for this trait in any person who aspires to be a president in Ghana ever again. What is this trait? It is one trait that I couldn't believe it was happening. The trait of the president and the finance minister. When the president chose the finance minister over what the nation was saying. This was a time when everything is crumbling. The economy is totally gone. Our finances are wasted. Your own party, your people are saying, no, there should be a change. And yet the president says, no, I'm not changing him. I'm keeping him. Normally, when things like these happen, when you see a situation where somebody is not up to the task, and the leader or whoever is in charge has the authority to remove him, and it's not removing that person, three things are most likely to be the situation. First likely thing is that the person may have something over the leader's head, some leverage over the leader's head, that the leader will rather die than to let that thing come out. Most of the time, it may be an oath the person may have sworn to that person. So as a result, the leader or the president or the main person cannot remove that person because of some agreement they have whilst nobody was looking. The second situation that can make a president keep a particular person in position, even when things are showing otherwise, is that the person may, or the president or the leader may be always so much to that person in terms of money, in terms of something, money, which is usually the case. And the person may, or the president may not have paid or may not have paid in full or something. So he doesn't have the leverage to sort of let the person go, because at the end of the day, he still has to pay him. So he will keep him there. That could be the second reason. And the third reason could be the fact that, he may be charmed into some sort of hypnotism. He may be charmed. You may be a leader and everybody is telling you this particular person is doing the wrong thing at the bottom line. Let the person go so that the thing can flow. And it's evident because the economy is falling. And you hold on to that person. It could be that you are charmed. So one of these three things is possible. And I hope he's listening. I hope the president is listening, because I voted for him. I have voted for this president. And sometimes I feel ashamed about it because I'm a very level-headed person. And when I discuss issues with people, I am open-minded. I am not strictly this or that. I will discuss an issue with you. If there is something that I have to pick from you, I'll pick from you. But do you know that the situation with President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and his cousin, the finance minister, do you know is going to be a case study in most programs in the universities and secondary schools? It is going to be a typical examples in books that when government is being taught, when leadership qualities is being discussed, nepotism, family and friends issues, it's going to be a very typical thing. People would say, that is a classical example. And this kind of trait, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot be a leader and be like this. I mean, look at the situation in Ghana as we find it today. It's not like he kept him there and then the man was able to miraculously bring us out. No. Things that we used to buy so cheap, food that we could afford with so little money is gone. The beans, the rice, the bread, it's all gone. If you don't have 10 Ghana cedis, 20 Ghana cedis, you are not eating. I mean, that is where we have come to. So he couldn't even prove or substantiate why he kept him there by the economy getting in line. It didn't happen. And I was waiting and I was eager to see it happen, and I got really disappointed. So that is one trait in a president we don't need in Ghana again. We don't need a president who at any point in time will choose his family over the nation, the interest of a family member. No, you cannot be a leader and be like this. It is disaster for the country. Trait number 2 in a president that we don't need. We don't need a president who has this particular trait in the person of former President John Mahama. We don't need this again in Ghana, where he takes 4 years to solve the one major challenge in the country. When everything is going down because there is no electricity, manufacturers cannot produce, companies have to shut down, everywhere is messed up. There was so much pollution, so much noise in every corner you pass, and you cannot solve it in four years. We don't need this kind of president in Ghana again, where the issues are not pressing to the person enough to say, no, I have to put my feet down. Whatever I have to do, whatever it takes to get the light of this country running, I have to do it. So this is a message of advice to former President John Mahama. If he's coming back to continue his old ways of solving issues, then we don't need him again. If you are coming back to take another 4 years to deal with one problem, Ghana doesn't need you. We need a president who is up and running, who can solve problems in a space of time, because things are always getting out of hands in this country. And if you need 4 years for one, then how many years would it take us to solve all of our major problems? We don't need that. Certainly not. Trait number 3 in a president that we do not need. We don't need this particular trait in our former president, may his soul rest in peace, former President John Evans Fifi Atta Mills. We don't need this. When people have invested their time, their money, their resources into campaigning for you, and you cannot stay healthy for 4 years, for one term, we don't need a president who is always in the hospital or in the medical checkup. We don't need a president who is very old and cranky and needs about 4 hours, 3 hours in the morning to get warmed up before he can move and get active. We don't need that. We need a president who is on the job, because there's a lot to do in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no joke. This is not about partisan politics. This is strictly about what Ghana needs at this point in time. We don't need a president who is usually sick. I mean, listen to this. Everybody has been in this situation before. And tell me if I'm wrong. Whenever you feel sick, does anything really matter to you again? When you fall sick, all that is on your mind is, how do I get up? How do I feel better? You don't think about anything. You don't think about your houses, your cars, whatever you have. All you care about is your health. And so if you're a president and the position you'll be in constantly is from one hospital to the other and you are always not there, we don't need you in this country. We need a vibrant, young, strong, able to move and get things done. That is the third trait in a president we don't need in a country. The next thing in the president that we do not need in this country is a trait found in our former president John Kufuor, when you are given a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to change the currency, the whole currency, not to print additional money or a different denomination, the whole currency in the country, to a point where 1 Ghana cedis is more than $1. I mean, think about this. There was a point in the history of Ghana when our own currency, Ghana cedi, was worth more than $1. There was a point in the history of Ghana when all our debt was forgiven us in the HIPIC program. You get this once in a lifetime opportunity. And everybody who attests to this, especially those who were around, and for those who are so young or weren't born at this time, you may not know. But there was a lot of printing of money going on. But why didn't we get to the point where that same energy could have been used to print money to at least fix all of our roads? That once in a lifetime opportunity where everything came to a standstill. Listen, it was a reset button. It's like doing an exercise or getting everything wrong, and you are given the opportunity to hit the reset button. Everything goes back to zero and you start again. That was where we were. And we couldn't print enough to fix all our roads, but there was a lot of printing going on for other things. And people know there was so much printing going on. But for what? We don't want that trait in the president again. When the opportunity brings itself that a big change comes, we need to put it to use. It never comes very often. It doesn't come around like that. That trait in the president, the former president, John Kufuor, we don't need it in this country again. We need a president that sees opportunity, grabs it for the benefit of everybody. And again, we don't need this trait in a president. In our former president, may his soul also rest in peace, President J.J. Rawlings. I mean, his situation is the worst of all. J.J. Rawlings had the biggest opportunity in the history of Ghana to make all the changes. I mean, in my lifetime, let me put it that way. In my lifetime, he had the best opportunity to reset everything in Ghana. When I was growing up, when I saw JJ, when he came into the barracks, because I grew up in the barracks, he had so much authority and power that no chief, no king, nobody in this country could raise up their heads. Nobody was able to lift up their head, say one thing or the other. Nobody could say one thing or the other. And yet, he had so much power, so much time on his hands. Guess what he did with it? Nothing. That opportunity when everything is given to you as a leader, you have power, you have every authority, and nobody is contesting you, nobody is challenging you, and we are waiting for you to do something, and nothing is really coming. It's like wiping the table clean. So we are waiting to see what you put on the table. We keep waiting, and we wait, and we see nothing happening. This trait in a president, we do not want in this country again. We don't want a president who is caught in a surprise because he never really wanted or didn't dream of becoming a president. We want one that is strategic. He knows exactly what he wants to achieve. Even if it is 3 things he wants to do, he will get it done. But when you are given so much time, with so much power, and yet you do very little, it is disappointing to everybody that was around that time. I cannot talk for the other president. I cannot talk for Kwame Nkrumah because I wasn't around. I cannot talk for Achampon and all those other ones. I wasn't there to see it. But ladies and gentlemen, Ghana is 66 years old, for your information. At 66 years old, you have seen a lot. At 66 years old, you are experienced and knowledgeable. You don't have that luxury of doing try and error because you have done it so many times in your early life that you are at this point so matured and knows what to do. We cannot therefore be comfortable, we as citizens, to vote as regular because our parents vote a certain way. No. It's about time we ask critical questions. And this goes to the media people. And they have so much opportunity because they are given the opportunity to interview and ask questions to the people in power and those that are really relevant. And what do they do with it? Sometimes they ask questions and you are like, really? You have 10 minutes, 15 minutes of an MP of a president, of a minister of state, and they ask so many irrelevant, nonsensical questions. It doesn't make sense. No wonder they are so comfortable to always come to your TV and radio station. It is always true. The people who are always comfortable to come to you is because there is nothing so challenging with you when they come. It is business as usual. It is predictable. They know what you ask and they are prepared for it and they know how to go about it. And that is how the nation has been. But moving forward, Ghana needs a leader that is not going to behave like how these traits in leaders have led us to. We need a leader who comes with new ideas. New ideas. We need a radical leader because that is what is going to take for this country to see real development. In election 2024, I encourage every youth to be personally interested and push for a better Ghana. Please remember to like, share, and leave a comment. Most importantly, I need you to subscribe to this channel. We are taking this channel from here up there. There's so much we are going to do here. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I need your support. I need your subscriptions. I need you to share it in your chat groups on WhatsApp, on TikTok, wherever you can send it to. I need you to share it. I need you to support me in this cause because good things are ahead of this country. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I'll come your way again with another hot take. God bless you and bye-bye for now.